And here we are on the Wednesday Night Pulse with the Family Bloodline Network. So welcome in everybody. I'm waiting for a couple other participants to jump back in a second, but until they make it, Rich, how have you been doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Good. How's your how has the week been so far?
Excellent.
Perfect. Perfect. Give me 1 second. All right, I'll pull this back in. All right, so I haven't heard from Deuce. I'm only assuming that he will hop on momentarily. But until he does, we will push forward and I will read the disclaimer for him as a just in case, which says views expressed are those held by the author and do not represent any other organization, corporation, or entity. Right? Right. And that's really, really, yep, a little feedback. That's better. All right. So with that being said, let's just jump right in today. I have to I'm not gonna say I gotta eat my words just yet.
Eat them. A week ago, you said we was folding like a tent.
I
Eat
did.
them.
I did. I absolutely did. I sure did. And I'm proud. I gotta say, I gotta give it to the Dems. We're at A so far 8.
Yeah.
And they seem to be pushing pretty strong and steady in their stance for the government shutdown as a party. Togetherness. They're holding it, and I did not anticipate that it would last as long as it has from their side. And it seems as if they will continue locking in on the shutdown. It seems as if they're going to hold tight to it, and this is going to be a hill that they are willing to dig in on. I'm not going to say die on just yet.
Yeah, they're gonna die. Listen.
Yeah.
His legacy already is 35 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm a Democrat, I'm looking to go 36. Before I even think about relenting.
Okay.
This is his legacy. He the one talking about I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and then tariffs and we're gonna be. How do we look? For the second time under his leadership, we look like a broke nation.
Wow.
That can't pay our bills.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's how we look. Like, wow, the government of the most powerful nation in the world is shut down again. And when was the last time it was shut down? Oh, when he was in charge.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah.
So, and this is a businessman. This is a businessman. What successful business do you know shuts down for a month?
Well, let's not just stop at a businessman. He's a businessman that's been bankrupt multiple.
Oh yeah, but I stopped at businessman just to define it.
Okay.
Or businesswoman.
Fair enough.
A business that shuts down for 35 days because they out of loot.
Fair enough. Rich, I saw you pull back a little bit when I said that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We got too many Geminis on tonight. I'm counting so many personalities. I don't know which one I'm going to come out with. But I have to agree.
Yeah. So we're in the shutdown, and there's a lot of different things that are coming out. Again, let me be the first to say I will eat crow on this one. I didn't think that it would last as long as it has. I didn't.
I'll say this. They say that the enhancements fall down or they terminate on either November 21st or December 31st.
Which ones?
That the enhancements for the Affordable Care Act goes
Oh, they expire at the end of the year.
they expire December 31st. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
The credits.
Right.
Yes.
So these are the credits that are needed for people for the Affordable Care Act to be affordable.
Yeah.
Now,
Without those credits,
Mhm.
it's unaffordable Care Act,
Absolutely.
and millions of people will lose coverage.
So from
Yeah.
what I've been reading, that the insurers are already seeing out their new rates because the prices had gone up anyway, and that's why they're trying to make sure they continue to enhance it to cover those new.
Yeah, that's why you need the credits
Beginning
to
of
offset the new rates.
Right. So in fact, they need to enhance those credits because the rates have gone up. So November 1st is when the new rates become final. Now, allegedly, when the insurers send out to the people who are paying on these rates, they send out with the subsidies, or without the subsidy, and that's already gone out. I think one of the states is already has already applied it. It's one state, Idaho or somebody that's already applied it. All right. So what I'm trying to say is this. If Margie Taylor Greene has been contacted by her constituents where she has to break away from the Republican Party and announce today that, hey, we need to negotiate this because those rates are going to be doubling almost, maybe more than double.
So Georgia put their rates out?
I don't know if Georgia put their rates out.
She's in Georgia.
Right. So her constituents in the district in Georgia has put so much pressure on her that she had to come out today and say, you know what? I don't really want to go against the president, but this is how I got here with my constituents. And they're telling me their rates are going to go up and they need
those credits.
Those credits. And so all the years ago, here's the thing. Once you give people an ability to be able to afford something, you can never really take it back from them. So when you say, well, the minorities, of course, they want their welfare, and we're going to get tough on welfare and on the food stamps. But when the white middle class and the poor whites, when they say, hey, wait a minute, that Affordable Care Act, oh, now we on that stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to keep it.
And the kids is on there till age 26.
Yeah.
You know? Look, their kids is having babies on there.
You know what? See, if President Trump had held his ground on the tariffs, then I would say he'll win this. But he didn't hold his ground on the tariffs because he's always waffling.
What is it, Taco? Trump always chickens out.
He's waffling. So my thing is, if you're going to be a superior white man and you don't want to be questioned, when you say you will never have your freedom,
you die with that.
That's a real white man from down south. When he says, I will never respect you, you will always be my slave, whether you're in chains or not. That's what he means.
Yeah.
So my problem with the president is, if you were really a superior white man, you ain't acting like one. So you've got me confused. And I'll tell you something. Now, okay, so we'll stay on this subject. So I want to see. I think the Democrats can pull this off.
I believe so too.
Because it affects Democrats and Republicans.
When you say pull this off, pull what off exactly?
Get them to get those credits and agree to get those credits in place.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, they have
I believe that too.
And if Chuck Schumer, because he caved in March, so they did a continuing resolution, he caved, and the Democrats got mad at him. And then allegedly, AOC was like, oh, I'm coming for your seat. So allegedly, if he caves this time, he may be no longer a U.S. senator. So that will inspire someone to say, oh, my job's on the line, or what I got to do to keep it. Okay. Allegedly, because we haven't heard AOC in a long time. She's been real quiet, too quiet.
Well, she's been on a bit of a trail with Bernie.
No, that trail's been over with.
I don't know how long that's been over because I know she's also been riding the wave of it. She's been doing a lot of social media platforming here lately.
Yeah, but
So I'm not.
No, he want to see in a room with a microphone in her face.
Okay.
In other words, there's no question that when people say Gavin Newsom's running for the White House, there's no question because he's running his mouth every day. He's already kind of unofficially secured the Democratic nominee. So with this situation here, when Charles Schumer's like, hey, we're going to fight you on this one. We ain't caving. And they haven't caved in. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene, now that's just one Republican. How many other Republicans in the House are being contacted by their constituents saying, we want those credits so we can afford our health care? Because you don't get if you don't get your health care through your ER, your employer, or through Medicaid, then you come into this healthcare exchange to get these rates, and you were
Tuesday's the first day the military missed their check.
So you jumped me, or not? Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday the 14th.
And so allegedly,
go ahead, Rich. Go ahead. You got it.
Allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because I got this off Facebook. Allegedly, the military ain't getting paid, but yet that funding to Israel is still going to Israel. Now,
I don't want it to jump too far off. I want to, because that is a point that I want to bring back up in a second. So do me a solid with that one. Hold on to that one, because I definitely want us to come back to that. Yeah, don't let that one go. I'm in the shoot with you on that one. I'm in the shoot with you on that one.
If that's true, if it's true,
right? So because you brought up a point that I was about to get to, the payment of our service sailors, soldiers, sailors, airmen, so on and so forth, the military at large, the payment of the flight guys, the towers,
air traffic control,
air traffic controllers, as well as the payment of ICE agents, or the mobilization and movements of quote unquote federalized soldiers moving out to another state. How is this impacting and playing into all of this? Dude, since you hopped on, you got to take this one first.
No, I mean, I'm with what Richard was going on. I think it's ludicrous, man. Not to mention the federal judge came out and said, don't do that, as far as federalizing National Guard troops from the state of Texas and exporting them to other states, i.e. Illinois, right?
But is it unconstitutional? Is it illegal?
It's not unconstitutional.
I would go there. I would say it's illegal now because a federal judge did an injunction on it.
Because I wrote this down. Invasion, rebellion, civil rights, or carrying out the executive powers for the president.
Well, where has any of that happened in Portland or Chicago?
So he said because of the crime, because ICE is trying to do their job, but they're federal agents trying to do their job, and the federal buildings and the ICE agents are under attack in Portland. So that way he can mobilize in Texas and send them up there. When this
let's take that in consideration. Where is his proof of that?
Well, it's on video. People screaming and yelling, exercising their freedom of speech, but they feel that the ICE agents feel like their life is in danger.
So what I've seen, especially primarily, and I'll give a couple examples of Chicago, I've seen ICE agents actually acting as agents of chaos in order to create a situation.
Until we can see the entire video from start to finish, because a video we used to think was absolute. We used to think if it's on video, it's absolute fact. Until the Rodney King video, so the Rodney King video came out, and then they said, "Well, videos don't mean so much."
Well, let's in context, right? Because the local news, as well as the police departments and police forces in Chicago and Chicago areas have been involved, which is why there's a specific area subdivision of Chicago that's suing the federal ICE agents for their interaction of tear gassing them, right? So, Deuce, pick back up on where you were, and then I'm gonna shift over to you, Lynn.
So I know Richard gave pushback. You asked constitutional and legal. I don't think it's against the Constitution, but if a federal judge says don't do it, that's about close to federal law. It's not federal law, but it's damn near close, right? How can you not go to jail if a federal judge says don't do something and you do it? So that's what the federal judge said. And normally the administration will have to go through the court system to undo
in order
that.
to do it. Right.
Right. But they're not doing that this time, right? They're mobilizing Texas.
No, it's still going up to the United States Supreme Court because it's going to be.
But they're still going on with the action. Is the main point.
That is correct. They have to.
Yeah. No, they don't. No, I will push back on that. If a federal judge says don't do the legal route, then the other action actually stops, right? But Texas, which is funny because Newsom came out and read the stats from the cities in Texas, right? Texas needs help, right? Yeah. But he's taking the guard from Texas, sending them everywhere else, which is crazy because these cats aren't getting paid. So how are they able to secure transportation from point A to point B? Who's paying that bill? How is that happening?
Taxpayers are paying it. We're paying it.
But the government is closed. So that means there's no revenue being collected. So how are the taxpayers paying?
No, well,
money's still being collected.
Yeah.
Okay. But it shouldn't be
spending revenue to DC.
True. But it shouldn't be being spent.
Wait a minute.
If you're federalized.
Right. The troops may not be getting paid, but when they're buying stuff on that credit card, that's still being paid.
The credit card, yeah.
So it's still being done. Now, allegedly, like I said, Israel allegedly is still being funded because of security interests, national security interests. They're our number one ally. I thought it was England, but now it's Israel, or maybe it's a tie.
Hey, the deal is done.
The deal is done.
The first part of the multi-step. Go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. He's like 18,
doing what he do, talking.
18 to 20 points in that bill. I mean, in that agreement. So the first part about giving the hostages back. Okay. But here's the killer part. There's another part in there. It's about giving all the hostages back.
But are they back?
Yeah. So the thing is, the rest of the bill, where it says where Hamas has to leave, put their arms down and leave Gaza. You know that's not happening.
Right.
I don't think the hostages are back.
I don't think they are either. But before we shift there, because again, I don't want us to lose sight of that. I think that's a very important part when it comes to the shutdown. But I want to keep it domestic right now.
Okay.
And go ahead, Deuce, because after that we got to put it over to Lynn.
All right, so I do want to say with the shutdown, man, I think the administration is adding more ammo to it, right? The threats coming out, which I don't even call them threats, they're promises. Anyone that says, when Trump says something, he's being funny, he's being humorous, he doesn't mean it. Dude means it. He means it. So it's funny. They said if the shutdown happens, they would immediately start firing federal workers. They haven't done that yet. But he's still holding it over their heads. He's still holding it over their heads. I don't think he's going to do it until after like they were talking about the 14th, 15th, when the military misses a check. Then I think that's when that next domino will fall. It's just interesting to me how all the extra threats they're adding on to this, and then the rhetoric coming out. First, Trump saying he's not talking to the Democrats, and then who's the?
That was not the first said. The first.
No, but who's the Republican?
Hates his opposition. He said he hates his opposition.
Right. They're demoralized. They're trying to dehumanize him. So I've never, in all the shutdowns, I've never heard the ruling party say that they would not even talk to the minority party, no matter who was at top, Democrat or Republican. I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
If you go back to the Civil War, you'd be.
Rich, I am not about to go back to. Okay, let me be factually correct. In my lifetime, I haven't heard that. That's all I got to say about it.
No, they know.
Lynn, where you at with it? Where you at with it?
What part?
So let's again starting domestically, payment to the troops, as well as lifting and shifting soldiers from one area to another, legal, illegal, needed, not needed, grounds for it, all of it.
Oh, it's totally unnecessary. This is just a power hungry guy trying to flex his muscle and deflect, because that's always a part of, because there's some files. Are there some files out there that we trying to look at? Files.
Somebody wanted Hillary.
Some files.
Hillary.
Files. And now hold on. Now you wasting the taxpayers' money with Comey. Because Comey Comey is about to get off and then he gonna get paid.
Yeah.
Did he find somebody to
Because
prosecute that?
He
He was finding.
memorialized.
Did he find somebody to prosecute that? I don't think he did yet.
He memorialized his retribution in a tweet.
So listen to this. This has to be said because everyone's talking about the illegal immigrants or the undocumented immigrants. Let me be crystal clear. If you come to the country and you're not documented, you came here illegally, you broke the law. You cannot get around that. I don't care if you spend 2 days or 25 years and you've been on good behavior. It does not matter. So here it is. The federal code, when it's a crime to interfere or hinder with federal law or obstruction of justice. 18 USC section 1505 is the federal statute for obstruction of proceedings before departments, agencies, and committees. It prohibits corruptly influencing, obstructing, or impeding investigations and proceedings before the U.S. federal departments, agencies, or Congress, as well as attempting to do so. Now,
who's obstructing?
Huh?
Who's obstructing?
When the state governors and the mayors are saying, "Hey, we don't have to help you do this," but when they're basically interfering and causing chaos,
who's interfering? Help me out. Educate me.
When the governors are saying we don't have a problem with illegal immigration, when clearly they do, and the mayors of the cities, of the sanctuary cities, California's a sanctuary state.
Right.
So, but I tell you what, because this could just be my opinion reading off this statute.
Yeah, because I'm where you are.
When it goes to the United States Supreme Court, this 18 USC 1505, they may not even bring it up. But I'm going to put $100 down right now that when they make this decision on this power to nationalize the guard and send them to these places, not for police duties, but just to protect federal buildings and to stand guard to protect the ICE agents from doing their jobs because they're the ones doing the arresting, that the United States Supreme Court will say President Trump has this power.
But before they even get there, right? There's a lot that has been missed to even get there, right? And I spoke about it briefly.
Thank you.
The thing that's called defense support to civil authorities, right? That's the act that allows the federal government to take the National Guard to put them on Title 10 and send them into a specific area, right? The ICE agents are something totally different. However, they're still federal agents. During that portion that those soldiers and the ICE agents are there, let me back up. The National Guard soldiers, they cannot conduct any type of policing actions whatsoever. It's out of their purview. They're not there to do that, right? So I'm agreeing with that. So it comes back down to different federal landmass and buildings. So nobody's obstructing their ability to protect a federal building.
Nobody.
Secondly, ICE does not actually have tangible movement as to who's undocumented or illegal, that are even pushing over into dangerous. And they've proved it in Chicago when repelling and locking down a whole apartment building to quote unquote get a specific person.
After you say all that,
yeah,
I'm putting up $100 right now. The Supreme Court will say you're wrong.
I don't
I'm wrong about what?
I believe that. But here's my
okay.
I believe you, Rich. I do believe that. I think the Supreme Court is going to uphold this. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about this. He had the same take, not your take. He was saying that ICE is only deporting the criminals. I said, if they were, explain to me this, riddle me this, Batman. Why did they challenge habeas corpus? And why is he now trying to challenge naturalized citizenship?
Right.
So if you're only deporting criminals, you would not have to bother with those other two aspects.
After when he got in office, he said, "Listen, we're coming after the criminals, but if you're in a situation and you're not in this country illegally, while we're searching for criminals and we run into you, you're still violating federal law."
Yeah, but people with green cards are here legally, and they're getting sent out of the country.
And they don't have their time at trial to even prove their citizenship because he's bypassing habeas corpus.
If you have 6 to 14 million people here illegally or undocumented, if you think you can go 100 for 100 and get each case correct, wrong. There's going to be some mistakes made. So in other words,
I guess that's okay.
Yes.
Mistakes are okay.
Hold on. I'm going to go back to the Democrats on this, your fight for this health care. because I believe they're absolutely right to fight for the healthcare credits to help.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are going to be some casualties with this government being shut down. The military won't get paid. You said the air traffic controllers won't get paid. So some people won't get paid for a while. There's going to be some
Nashville already shut down. I had issues.
Okay. So there's going to be some casualties that the Democrats are willing to have some casualties of war. I don't know why I have to say this so loudly because I'm talking to military people, former and current. There's going to be some casualties of war. And the Democrats said, this is a casualty that we're going to die on.
So, hold on. So have the Republicans.
Correct.
They're doing the same thing.
Yes.
So now it's a stare down.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's a stare down.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, if you come to this country illegally, you're not documented. You have done something wrong.
Richard, I need you to do this with that. Everybody who is listen to me. Everyone who is here illegally today could have come here legally.
Why didn't they?
Student visa. That's legal. Your visa expires. Now you are illegal. It's like a driver's license.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Your expiration date is in 2030. You're good. Right. You don't renew your license. You riding dirty. But don't project in everybody's mind that everybody came through the door with a fake ID.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. I tell you what. See, before we were having this argument last summer before the election, and I kept telling these two individuals, I said, listen, the transgender may be a minute issue, but it's huge in some people's minds. This border is huge. The economy should be the biggest. I said, should be the biggest, the economy. And I said, I guarantee you.
You know why it's not the biggest? You know why it's not the biggest? Because he can't fix it.
Yeah.
He can't fix it. So he is picking low-hanging fruit. Brown people that I can send anywhere I want to send them.
Yes.
And my stupid base will say, when that's what he promised us.
When Congress did this, listen to this. Back in 1952, Truman refused to sign this illegal immigrant law. Congress went behind him and said, oh, we're going to override you and we're going to get it done. Okay. So they got all these laws in place because when I heard that he was sending people back to countries they didn't come from, I said, that can't be true. Yeah. By the law, it is accurate. He has that power. So, so when I keep saying when we apply the law, then they say, well, we don't like how you apply the law. So then we go up to the court system. Well, if the judges are kind of Democrat, they're going to go for the Democratic Party. If they're kind of Republican, they're going to go to the Republican Party. And every now and then, you'll get a judge from either party that says, the hell with the party, I'm making a sound decision.
Sure.
Or my interpretation. But when this goes to the United States Supreme Court, because it's stacked with conservatives, it's going to be either 6-3 or 5-4. I think it's going to be 5-4.
And I won't disagree with you on that directly. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is, first off, like Lynn just pointed out, just because a person comes over the border, that does not automatically make them illegal, right? They're
undocumented. They're undocumented.
I got that.
But with a visa, you are documented. You have a document that says a visa gives you the permission.
Yeah.
Because when I worked in Nigeria, I had to get a visa to go over there and work there.
Gotcha.
As the president of an oil and gas company.
Gotcha.
So I was there legally. When I went to the Congo, a friend of mine, a Nigerian with a private jet, said, hey, Lynn, let's bounce over to Nigeria. I said, no, I don't have permission to be in that country. He said, yeah, but we're going to go to the clear port, the Jay-Z part, the private jet part. I said, no, I'm not going to be in a Nigerian jail. I do not have permission to go into that country. I'll get to Nigeria someday, and I did. But a visa is a document that allows you to be in another country legally.
Okay, let me go back when he took office in January, and then on February 17th, 2025, the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, encouraged illegal immigrants to self-deport by announcing several initiatives. I keep going back to this. the DHS launched a multi-million-dollar ad campaign. Leave the country. If you are here illegally, per Homeland Security Secretary or Security Christy Noem, if you are here illegally, we will find you and deport you. But if you leave now, you may have an opportunity to
come back. Yeah, I heard the commercial.
And people laughed. And I said, you better not laugh because he's telling you up front, if you don't self-deport, listen to this. He even waited until between May 8th, May 5th to May 9th, 2025. The administration says, offers you $1,000 stipend of this year, May 5th to the 9th, 2025. The administration offers you $1,000 stipend and free flights to adult undocumented immigrants who voluntarily return home to their home country under the program Project Homecoming.
But Rich, all right, let me tell you this though. You're talking about a government that, what was it, the early retirement thing that they offered the federal workers before? Huh?
USAID.
Nah,
USAID.
Yep. But it was Elon came in during Doge.
The road.
The what?
Fork in the road.
Yeah, the fork in the road letter. Say, hey, stop working. We'll pay you. Sign this letter. There are people, citizens, that have not got paid their proper due. Okay, so if citizens haven't got paid, why on earth?
Yeah, they ain't getting $1,000.
They're not getting it. If citizens haven't gotten it, why would they get it?
Just like no tax on tips.
Oh,
Did you read it?
Oh yeah.
Did you read it?
If you qualify, and it's only temporary.
Your tips are still subject to Medicare and Social Security. So guess what that is, Richard?
Hold on.
Guess what that is?
I don't have to guess anything. We already had a program about that. We talked about if you qualify for no tax on tips and it expires at the end of 2028. Yeah, we talked about that. But the bottom line, now he puts the wife on. Now she's gonna take a few swings.
They tag team.
Regarding that $1,000, or what is that? Yeah, so they gonna spend that in the United States. They gonna let them spend that in the airport and get a USA T-shirt. I don't know where they supposed to spend it.
I tell you what. They asked you to self-deport if you came here illegally, if you're undocumented. Okay, and people laugh. So here's the thing about this, and this ties back to this fight on the healthcare. You know why the Republicans don't want to do the healthcare? They don't want to do those credits because they know that money goes to the Medicaid to the states. Some of that money goes to undocumented because an undocumented in some states will still get healthcare, or if that undocumented goes to an ER and that ER, that hospital is fairly funded. In the ER, you can't turn somebody away and say, I won't give you health care because you're not here legally.
I think it's because Obama's name is
that too. It all starts there. That's the beginning of the problem.
Let's look at that because I'm glad you shifted to that focus, talking about the healthcare portion of the government shutdown, right? And the Republican talking point is that the Democrats are wanting undocumented / illegal people to receive. Essentially, they haven't said it this way, but this is how they're trying to paint it. Full healthcare benefits paid for vis-a-vis the federal government, Medicaid. Now, if you actually go back and you look up that actual act, and I'll pull it up in a second here. If you look at the actual act and you go to Section 8, subsection, I can't remember, but I sent it to somebody the other day, and it specifically spells out, this was in 1996, signed by Bill Clinton, that undocumented and it calls illegal people are not able to receive healthcare benefits from the federal government unless in the case of an emergency.
Correct.
In 2010, the Affordable Care Act continued with that, and it picked that up as well. It also states in the 96 Act that there are certain provisions that states can act, that they have the authority to grant. So if there's any type of assistance being given to undocumented / illegal peoples, it's not from the federal system, it's at the state level.
And that's why they're saying we're not going to send it to you. So listen to this. It's called the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. And it says you cannot be refused treatment regardless of your immigration status or ability to pay. Okay. And so if the hospital if the hospital is participating in Medicare, then in the emergency room, quote, you have to provide emergency medical treatment to anyone, regardless of their status or their ability to pay. Now, some states, I wrote this down too here. Some states offer public coverage to all adults, regardless of immigration status. Oregon, California, DC, Minnesota. Now, and then some of the other states offer more stuff as well. Here's my point to this. This is why I couldn't be a Republican. I believe in universal health care because I believe that if you say you believe in God strongly, that you don't let anyone go without health care. And if you call yourself the #1 country on earth, then I don't understand why you don't provide the best health care to your citizens if you're the #1 country. See, that's the belief in God that I sincerely believe in. You don't let no one go sick. Now, you take care of your citizens first. You should come to this country legally. If you come illegally and you get sick, then I'm kind of, quote, under the laws of righteousness' sake, I'm kind of obligated to show you love and mercy by giving you emergency health care.
Because you're a human.
Right. But you know what? It also says in the New Testament, quote, it says, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's and render unto God what is God. So everything is God, but you have to still go by the laws of the society that you're in. So if the government sends the money and California says, well, we're going to do everything we can to help these undocumented. And if they come to the ER, we're going to make sure they get the best health care we can give them.
Let me ask you a question. If you are a visitor at my house and you get sick and you're undocumented, and your visa expired, am I not supposed to help you?
You go to the ER and you get help.
I'm saying if at your house, I'm just trying to make it, would you not help me at your house? The United States is our house, it's our big house, but like on a one-to-one basis, you would not do that. That's why it just sounds, for lack of a better word, stupid. It's just you don't stop helping people. I was blessed to take care of my mom for 10 years. And we went through that. She had a feeding tube and there was a hospital. Again, this is state by state too. There was a hospital like not even 2 minutes from her facility and her feeding tube came out. This was several years ago, but that's a hospital that we used to always take her to because it was the closest one. And feeding tube was life or death, So they changed ownership. The hospital did. So they tried to tell me, Mom was like Norm off of Cheers when she walked when we were in there, because it's like, oh, her feeding tube came out again. Okay, we understand the drill. But while we were there, they tried to tell us that they could not treat her because of her insurance, and they were a new facility. But this was a life-altering emergency. Had I not, spoken up, then they would have tried to send us somewhere else. And it was like late at night. It never comes out in the daytime, but I refuse to let them turn us away. And then it ends up that was the law. But if you don't know better, then, we'll be out there in the ambulance trying to get this ambulance to go somewhere else. And that's a whole nother different thing because it's paperwork for the ambulance. It's just all red tape. It's not just one thing, but it's just common sense. They had the common sense to say, okay, you're right. Let us go ahead and do this, because they wanted to figure out where they needed to build, where to get their money. And it's like, that's in the state of Texas. You're not supposed to be able to refuse anybody, but they refused us. It happens. But if you don't speak up, then people take over. Wait
a minute. And you're right. There's cases like that all throughout all the states. But let's go back to something about universal love and righteousness. If you really believe in God and you try to treat people the way you want to be treated, all these people who are coming to this country illegally, if they really had a sincere belief in doing what was right upon the laws of the country they live in, or the country they're going to, they wouldn't come here illegally.
Okay, and then on the other end of that, if I am here and I love God And I love Jesus. Jesus, when he came, he broke all the laws. That was the whole thing.
He said, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar.
He was talking about paying your taxes. He wasn't rendering unto rendering unto Caesar bad behavior or treating people unjustly.
No, that's your interpretation, because the interpretation
and what you just said is yours.
Yeah, I don't want to get. I don't.
No, wait a minute.
I don't want to get automatic movements of personal.
But no. But it has to, because all of our laws in this country are based off of righteousness.
That's not true.
They're not. They're not based off of that. I got a counterpoint real quick though. I don't want. Interesting points y'all bring up. When I think about the tying of Medicaid, Medicare, and what Steph brought up, right? If I'm in the neighborhood, I'm hurt. I know Steph and Lynn House, they help out people. I'm gonna tend to go to them to seek help, right? So in America, if we have universal health care, or we have, some states have favorable Medicaid, Medicare laws, which are typically Democratic states, you have more undocumented persons there. Can we agree on that statement?
Yeah.
Just a no. Can we agree on that?
I think technically.
So I got a follow-on point. I'm just trying to see if I can get a consensus on, do we believe that blue states have more favorable Medicaid, Medicare laws, which also have higher?
Absolutely.
Okay. So with that, two numbers: 49.81%, 48.34%. The popular vote in the last presidential election, Kamala was not that far behind. Kamala was on that ass, right?
He was not.
However, the electoral votes, which goes by the census, which by constitution counts every living person, citizen or not. So the mass deportations of undocumented people, which hurts blue states more than red, just in the electoral vote category. I'm not talking about enterprise, business, stuff like that. You take that away, right? They know how close this last election was. You restrict Medicaid and Medicare, which would deter people from coming here also. You could get a bigger gap in the next election. That's my take on it. That's my spin on it.
So
I think, I put that up so you can respond to this directly as well, Rich.
Religious-based charities used to be the go-to for the needy. Dr. Brown, I'm President Brown, why not redirect from taxes to religious charities? Now, I don't have the answer for that, because I don't quite fully understand that question, because when you ask religious charities to be religious and not discriminate, I don't know if that's going to really happen or not. So, but I can't really, that's a good question. He has a great point, but I can't really answer that. If I know something, I'm going to give it to you. If I don't know, then I'll back up and I'll wait a minute to see if someone else can answer that question on TV or on the internet. If you trust the internet at that particular site or at that particular poll that you're reading, because somebody put up a poll today on a news story, said that 60% of Black America approved of Donald Trump. I said, well, whoa, that's a funny poll.
Look, where? Look.
It was the Atlas poll.
At the rallies. Oh, okay.
86% men, Black men, 92% Black women. That math ain't math.
Did you hear him?
The poll, so everybody has different polls that's going to solidify their viewpoint. So that's why I always say, when we look at the polls, if the poll that you look at solidifies your viewpoint, then you snatch that poll. If two other polls say, oh, no, your viewpoint's wrong, we'll say, I don't trust those two polls because the people that you surveyed don't look like me. So that's why certain things you can't, it's just set up for an argument. But the bottom line is, if you come to the country undocumented and you have a person that's running for the White House and he says, I'm going to get you up out of here. And then in the second month, they say, we want you to self-deport, and you laugh. You say, I'm not going anywhere. So you come here illegally, undocumented, but it's still illegal. And then when he says self-deport, you laugh because you say, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to tell you where I'm at. And then he says,
Rich, if all of the different, everybody that came to this country was from somewhere else. That's just crazy. You know, I mean, we have everybody from all over the world that came to this country from the beginning. And it's just really funny when we discussed several weeks ago who was here, I guess, first, like who's on first. Then it's all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, but we don't want nobody else to come here and you stole it. So it's like, well, what?
Okay, and you know what?
With the rallies and stuff where they are arresting these protesters and stuff, some of these people that they are attacking,
right?
They're documented, and they're Americans. How can you tell who is what and who is not when you're shooting bullets and all?
You're not following the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court
they're protesting and they're attacking Americans.
The Supreme Court has already said you're not following the Supreme Court rulings. They've already said that race can be one of the criteria.
Yep.
Not all criteria. In fact, that's the same argument they used about not giving affirmative action to minorities to get to college. They said you can't use that as the only criteria. It could be one of the underlying criteria in the questions. So they're already saying this. Now, if you say, well, the Supreme Court is wrong, okay, fair enough. Now, if you're really telling me that your larger argument is that the foundation of this country is horrendous, until we cure our foundation, we'll never be right, then okay. Then that's okay. But
Richard, let me try to set this table properly.
There we go.
Because you are saying what a lot of people say, and in my mind, it is incorrect. When you come to this country, how do you come here legally? How does someone come to the United States legally? Break it down.
With the proper paperwork.
What? Well, give it to me.
They gotta be.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Give it to me.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the proper paperwork. Because let me tell you, the paperwork is by definition temporary.
Yeah.
It expires. The paperwork that a person legally enters the United States has an expiration date.
So how did
let me cook?
No. I'm not gonna let you cook. Not on my show.
You
You're talking too fast. No, you're talking too fast now.
No,
he ain't talking fast.
You keep saying it wrong.
Because he's trying to paint that picture so he can hang it on that wall and say,
no, listen. I'm Picasso. I'm Picasso with the facts.
But I gave you the facts.
No. Because Richard, like we had a conversation earlier today, you are saying it for the small-minded. Because the small-minded lock into illegal.
That was a conversation.
Small-minded lock into illegal. But if I ask those small-minded, how do you come to this country legally?
Nope.
You get $100. I'll put $1 million on the table, and they can't answer the question.
So, for transparency's sakes, when I talk to people off record, I don't ever talk about that when I go on a podcast.
I didn't bring it up.
No, I know. I want people to know that.
I'm bringing up. Listen, I'm bringing up.
But you cannot get around
the base that consumes this nonsense. In my opinion,
hold on.
Is small-minded.
Okay. Well, listen.
And our president,
people put this man in a second time.
In the small-minded language.
You know what's funny about this?
He can't tell you how to come to this country illegally. Legally.
Lynn, here's the problem with this. When you talk about people being small-minded who put this man back in, when you hear me say that, okay. So you're kind of basically saying that half the country is small-minded, and maybe they are.
Yeah.
But here's what I would say to you.
I will agree to that.
When it comes down to these elections and these last few elections, it hasn't been the Democrats or the Republicans that swung the vote. It's a person like me who's an independent. I'm a swing voter. So you may talk about small-minded to the Democrats and to the Republicans who are deep in their base, but I'm not deep in nobody's base because I'm on nobody's plantation.
Right, but you are dog whistling that BS with
No,
Come, this is what they said. Come to this country legally.
What
come here
political
legally.
party do you belong to? Answer that question, Mr. Medeiros. What party do you belong to?
I belong to the Team Democrat.
Okay, I'm done.
Let's do this, right?
You're biased.
But you're still saying it wrong.
I'm biased. I'm unbiased.
You're still saying it wrong.
I'm unbiased.
Hold on.
Because you can't even tell me how to come to the U.S. legally.
Proper paperwork, but that wasn't good enough for you. You wanted to know
and I asked.
I'm trying to get in here. New rules. What I will say.
Set it off. Remember, set it off. What's the procedure? What's the procedure when he got that gun to your head? What's the procedure?
Hold on.
What's the procedure to come into the United States legally? What's the procedure?
Hold on. To actually answer the question of a small-minded group of people voting, the answer is yes. The answer is statistically yes, and that's not a guess, right? That's why there's been several statements made by the current POTUS. The first statement was, I love the poorly educated. The second statement was, smart people don't like me. And to his point, the vast majority of Americans have a very low reading level. So yes, it is a small-minded group of people that's being spoken to in a very small-minded way, to where they can't see or push themselves past certain limits because they literally don't have the mental capacity to do that thing. Now,
Mr. Grass.
Rude, or does it hurt somebody's feelings? It might.
Mr. Grass.
Let me say this one thing, Rich. I'm just real quick. I had a conversation with a MAGA friend, MAGA associate, and I asked him. I said, I said, you like how things are now, right? You like some things and like some things. I said, tell me one policy, one MAGA policy that you like, without telling me policies that he's destroyed. Tell me one thing that he liked. Biden, at least people liked the Inflation Reduction Act. Obama, some people liked the healthcare, Affordable Care Act, right? I said, tell me one thing that he's done policy-wise that you like, not what he's stripping apart. Couldn't stutter.
They can't.
Stop dead in his tracks.
Like they can't tell you
that goes to what Glass is saying.
Where was it great? They can't tell you that either.
It depends on who you ask. They ain't asking everybody.
I ain't never got an answer to that question.
Let's go back to the foundation of this country, talking about small-minded people.
When it was great.
Y'all talk about small-minded people, but initially the foundation of this country, America said that the enslaved Africans were inferior. Was that small-minded?
It's absolutely small-minded.
Oh, that was a small-minded opinion. Absolutely.
That's like you
no, that was held by all the states.
It's still a small-minded opinion.
Absolutely small-minded.
It don't matter how many he's holding.
And I will further it.
Speak well for a black guy.
Right, and I will further that notion. Not only was it small-minded, but it was done under their movement of Christianity.
Oh boy.
It was done under their movement of economics, right? I'm not grouping all Christians under that. I'm definitively saying their version of it. It was done under their vision and version of economics, as well as their movement of superiority of a country that they wanted to have progressively.
I'm gonna go back to the United States Supreme Court.
Another thing, when you talk about, I hate to say this, but when you speak of religion, there are denominations in religion. It's not a whole. So I mean, come on, you have to give a little leeway and wiggle room, and everybody does not agree on everything. Some people wash feet, some people submerge, some people don't eat meat, some people, it's like whatever you believe based on what you've read. So right. I understand that, and I think that that's fair. So when you say, I understand what Richard is saying, because we're here together, so there is some common ground, even religiously, some common ground. But like with the masses, no, you can't tell me that what I believe is the same as what some Republicans believe, or I would say, like I said, some, because it's not all of them. It is not all of them. You got conservative Democrats, and you have liberal Republicans, and then you have independents, So it's like everybody is there. It's not, we try to act like it's so far-fetched on either side. And it's just, some people, but when you come down to it, I feel like the majority of people that do agree on things are quiet.
So here's my question.
Let me explain the religiousness behind it. The reason why I say it that way. The reason why I say it that way is because there's a huge misconception that America was built on the precepts and concepts of Christianity, and it was not. America's not a Christian country either. And so when people are generally talking about Christianity, they're not talking about it in a denominational aspect of it. They're talking about Christianity, and they say it in vague terms. Now, I'm not going to be able to list out all 35,000 plus denominations of Christianity. So if it don't apply, let it fly. However,
35,000 plus. Good Lord.
Yeah. So when I'm speaking of it in like, let's even go back to the etymology of the word religion. The actual word religion simply means a reconnection to God, right? So if I simply say religion, right, that's not talking about American Christianity, right? Even when I talk about American Christianity, that's not going down to a denominational stance. When I'm talking about and expressing that nature of the thing, it's because I'm pushing back on the weaponization that's happened with it, right? It's not necessarily an indictment of the fullness of Christianity. It's an indictment on the way they're using
manipulation
of Christianity. Yeah.
Yeah, and a manipulation of God. That's what one country under God. So it's like, okay, I'm sorry, one nation under God. And again, how you said they're weaponizing. If you don't believe how I believe, then you're ousted or you're wrong.
And remember, I've started a lot of this movement, this platform with, and this I did this a while ago, and maybe I need to go back and rejuvenate it. Talking about white Christian nationalism. That's literally what I've described and I've been speaking to and I've been speaking about, because that's the oversweeping environment that a lot of people have been they've gotten caught up into groupthink with. And so now when they get caught up in that groupthink movement, they're not listening to any other fact. They're not listening to how what they're saying goes against their very script, their scriptures.
But that's been here from the very beginning. That's the foundation of this country. People listen to what they want to listen to.
That's the very thing that I'm indicting, that I'm actually presenting and putting on display, right? Because they're using it as a weapon.
So that's the foundation of the country. Now, and here's the funny thing about the left. Because they, a lot of people say they want to tear up the whole country and start all over again. They're not really wrong. Not really. They're not really wrong.
They don't want to start over.
Yeah, I want to
create a whole new country within a country.
No,
this is what AOC is.
No, we can't agree on what's going on now. So starting it over, we sure the hell ain't agreeing on that. We trying to, move forward what we got. This will undocumented people receive health care.
If you go to the ER, they will. Yeah.
And I know we keep talking about
in some states in California, Oregon, they will get health care as well.
If somebody came again to if you see somebody out there that is hurt, are you going to help them, or are you going to say, hey, let me see your green card first? Somebody get hit by a car. Somebody needs something. Are you going to do that first? No.
The people voted.
And you bill them later, like they do us.
Voted. I can't wait to this midterm, because all this talk that y'all doing, if y'all don't win this midterm, then it don't mean anything.
Richard,
you didn't answer my question.
Richard.
No, because I said
the question is, listen, you want to do that. Here's the question: will undocumented people receive health care?
I already answered that question. Yes,
hold on. The answer is yes. But what? Hold on. Okay. Here's what people are translating.
Okay.
Health insurance.
Yeah.
Health insurance is not health care. You know what health care is? Taking somebody to the ER and getting them cared for. That's health care.
And then, and then with health care,
not health insurance.
When I'm signing up for it, and then I'm always looking like if we travel somewhere, just imagine when you travel somewhere, how do you want to be treated? Because you're not from that country. They're not.
I traveled legally, number one.
No,
But that is
legal.
I'm trying to help y'all. Listen, I'm trying to help y'all, but y'all don't want
What
to.
is travel legally?
I had to use my passport when I went to another country.
Okay. Does your passport give you ER privileges in Italy?
No, it does not.
Your
It
argument.
does not.
Your argument.
Does your passport give you ER privileges in other countries?
Hold on, Mr. Life Insurance. Would you give someone who's undocumented life insurance policy? Since you're talking all this stuff.
Yes, if they have an ITIN.
Okay.
Yes.
last week. He said that last week.
Yes.
He did say, yeah, he said that before, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I just want to stay consistent.
Yeah.
So-
Come on.
I can't wait for the midterms because this issue of the Affordable Care Act, illegal immigration, and how they're trying to find illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants. I can't wait because the midterm is going to really tell us how America really feels. Unless you don't trust that the polls or the election will be run correctly. If you think it's rigged or because if the Democrats win, I'm gonna be quiet and shut my mouth.
I think that's a fair way to
But you better win this shit. You better win it. Because if you don't win this shit, I'm gonna act a damn fool.
Go ahead, dudes.
You act a fool anyways, man. You act a fool.
Look, I'm gonna give you one of the greatest quotes in history.
What?
We will win the game.
Okay.
Hey, Steph, can you help Lynn out? He has some trash on his shirt.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see, Lynn. There's some trash down there.
Hold on, what's the nickname of this trash? America's team. America's
I
team.
thought you were gonna say waste management.
Right when the
oh
Cowboys
no, he
did.
doesn't even deeper. He said waste management. Oh my God.
You know what, Richard? I'm not gonna say to your point about Democrats need to win the midterms. I would be happy if they restore a balance, right?
Yeah.
My thing is with that one statement. I know, Glass, you don't want to go too far into that, but we talked about this. I'm not gonna say it's voter rigging the votes, anything like that. They are trying to make it a bit more difficult. I think if the Dems lose, it's because I still don't know what their message is.
Ooh. Holy cow. Let me talk.
Well, hold on. This fight, if they do not give up on this fight for this healthcare credits, and they should not give up on this.
Yeah.
If they win this fight on this, they got your message.
Yeah.
They go ahead.
Because this may trump this. Listen to this. This may, if they don't give up and they make the Republicans concede to negotiations, this will trump the illegal immigration. And that's why the Republicans can't concede this. So how long will this thing go out? I don't know. But
36 days.
But I agree with 36 also. So I get what you're saying, Deuce, because I was telling another guy earlier. I was on the phone with him. He saw one of my posts on Facebook and he took it too seriously. But the Democrats do not have proper messaging. They don't have a direct message to reach people, and they're not messaging properly. I think now is a perfect time to strategically box this up and platform on it and say and move the change to say that we are the party for Americans. We're trying to save your health care. If you don't save your health care right now, in a few months, that $600 is going to go to $4,500 a month.
Why do you keep saying 36 days it'll be over? This
Because the last one will last 35 days.
Oh, hold on. We can look at that. Let me go. Oh, I found the site. That's some real life stuff. Polymarket. You guys keep going. Let's see what they say.
All right. So
okay. At the top, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
74% of tickets are gonna last up to October 20th. I don't know why the 20th. But go ahead.
No, so I'm just saying, like, if the Democrats really want to begin to swing the vote, now is the time to platform it, and they need to be pushing on every outlet, podcast station that they can about what's going on with healthcare. Remember, we read what was going to happen with healthcare. We pushed this out. This is not a surprise to those of us who was looking and reading between the lines. But what they also need to capture in that is what's happening with the farmers. Not just farmers in general, but platform black farmers, and then look at the white farmers, right? Absolutely. Go back to USDA, right? There's a strategy that they could literally grab onto right now. They can say, hey, look at these tariffs that have taken us from here to here in 9 months. They can literally say right now that the president is making $20+ million because of additional businesses that he's investing in while leaving Americans destitute. There's so much platforming that the actual Democrats could do to make sure to begin to solidify the win for the midterms. They could every time MAGA Mike Johnson comes on TV, they need to have somebody doing a follow-up like it's address.
You say MAGA Mike Johnson?
Hold on. Let me tell you something about Mike Johnson, that House Speaker. He's more shrewd.
Oh yeah.
Because he said when it comes to paying the furlough workers, because Trump is like, well, we may not pay them. He said, no, we'll pay you. Once we have a budget or whatever, once we sign it, you will get paid.
But then what did the administration say after that?
Not a damn thing, because they know he's telling
No, he said something.
This is the thing.
No, it's not the opinion. He said something.
Who said something?
What he said in my IQ voice.
What he said?
A damn thing.
Trump said no, he did. Trump said something to the effect he'll pay some. He'll pay his people.
He said
Everybody don't deserve to get paid.
By law, okay. By law, this is why Speaker Johnson didn't say that. He knows by law that once we have the budget signed, we will pay those who didn't get paid.
Why do we keep judging the administration by law? I'm so tired of hearing that argument, man. Like the law is a recommendation.
He just does what he wants to do.
That's what I said last week.
It takes the punishment.
Jay Glass, that's exactly what I said last week. We are holding this man to standards
that he don't hold to himself.
He doesn't. It's like you're talking to a very defiant 2-year-old before you whip their ass.
I tell you what, Stephanie, because I believe that you're a Democrat. If you're this fired up, then I don't understand why you don't have a Democratic Party this fired up to ensure that they don't cave. But the way Mr. Glass is talking, he feels deep in his heart their ass ain't strong enough. Maybe they're transgender because they don't have the backbone to say, you know what, you've been screwing us from the time you've retaken office. So this shit here, we'll shut this government down till this bitch falls off. But it ain't in them. They don't have the strength in them.
Then hold on.
The Democrats?
What are they doing right now?
All that bass out your voice, Richard. Look at all that bass out your voice.
You sound like Jay Glass last week. What are they showing you right now?
We're trying to hold him to a standard. It's like we have set the rules. We everybody's trying to follow the law and everything, and he all like, not me.
He don't follow the
law.
Like
my little nephew, when he was a little boy, he like when it was time to rake leaves and stuff, he was 2 years old. Everybody was cleaning up except for him. His dad told him 100 times, and that was my boo, right? And then he told him, if you don't work, you don't eat. And he told him, he said, Adam, that food smells good because my sister was cooking lunch, and he was like, ooh, yeah. He said, you better clean up. And when it was time to go in the house, Adon was out there by himself crying, picking up leaves.
If they came,
and that's when you teach them. He has not been taught. Let me tell you,
after all
he ain't like that no more. I mean, after that, he was ready to clean up his pile.
After all that you said, if those Democratic Party doesn't have a tenth of your energy and they cave, this is how you talk about those who talking versus those who were real. That's why I'm not in my position right now. Because when I said something, I meant my shit. So if these Democrats are about something, and everything you have said about this man called President Trump, who's been reelected a second time, if he is this much of a threat to this country and what it stands for, then the Democrats will get off their ass and say, you know what? Bring this bitch out.
I got something. I was watching it.
I'll say this in all my trouble. I'll say this in all my trouble with the base. I said what I said.
Yeah, if they have a sense of your
Richard, what about
and James Glass Jr., James Allen Glass Jr. What I'm saying.
Why your initials Jag? Richard, I got this question. Why did Stephen Miller was doing an interview with CNN recently, right? And he did the Mitch McConnell.
What did he do?
I don't even know what the question was, bro. But he said, Glass, you can help me out with this word, man. Plenary authority.
Oh,
he was speaking. President has plenary authority, and he just He froze.
Yeah.
He did the Mitch McConnell. And the interviewer was like, Stephen, because he said the inside part out loud. You're talking about being a threat, man.
Hey!
Which is the same thing as a dictator, man.
Yeah.
So he already said that part out loud, which it was obvious, but he said it, and then he realized he said it. But you know what's scary? I'm gonna say this. I'll let you go. What's scary about it? He froze. He knew the mistake he made, but does it even matter? That's the scary part. Yeah. To me, he was more afraid of the mistake than what really is than the consequence. So there's no consequence for him saying
the black mayor in Chicago was going off. He's been off for the last week or two. He's been going off.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you're a Democrat, and brother, you in Chicago. I know it's in you, but unfortunately, the party that you're attached to. Because remember down in Texas, when the Congress, some of the people in the House left.
Yeah.
And then the sister stayed, and then they left her there. She said, "I'm not leaving."
Oh yeah.
That shows you the strength of the Democratic Party. They'll concede. See, the South of the Civil War, in their minds, they never conceded, and they never will. See, some people in this country will say that all of us, including Mr. Zohan, that we are never their equal, and by God's authority, we were made to serve them. That's in their minds, in their small-minded minds. What I'm asking you and Stephanie is, all this energy you have for these so-called Democrats and all this evilness that you say President Trump represents, then I want to see the Democratic Party stand up and say, fuck the country. Fuck the country.
Whoa, Mr. President. Mr. President.
All of this substance.
So that when I'm running my mouth on Wednesday night and they say the Democrats got their chest stuck out and they ain't taking this shit no more from President Trump, then I can say, I stand corrected. You are correct. Let me know my place. Continue.
You ain't gonna say that. You gonna be like, them Democrats out of control.
You be like in 1952.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
And he gonna be like, according to that's what you say. I'm mad at you for your research. I respect you totally for that, because most people just they don't have a clue, and a lot of us don't even know our history.
Yeah.
And with shows
the Democrats are making
or sharpening iron.
Don't jump on back about the Democrats just yet. Zoe, hurry up. You got it.
Okay. All right. First of all,
jumping back each other again.
The MAGA movement is canceled Taco Tuesday in Chicago. Taco's going to be $12.15 approximately soon. All businesses are closing down.
Are you for real?
I'm being facetious.
Man, but don't do that, man.
No, but
you just had everybody's heart wrecked out.
You said Taco Tuesday canceled. Hold on, bro.
I had solutions. I was like, well, why don't you just cook the tacos at home? What?
No, the thing is, in business news, Chicago Cranes reports, and I have like a minute or so, but businesses are hurting in the Southwest Loop in an amazing and in a tremendous form negatively. People are not going to be able to pay up taxes. So because taxes, you already know, in the blue state is ridiculous, but there is already a surge of the community. The vote is going to be swinging hard to the blue side because of the Latino vote got basically fooled by the MAGA movement because of the economics. Okay. But the brown people, all power and grace to everybody as an American, but we're tremendously off balance. The minority right now is going to come back surging because we're seeing grandmas on the floor. We're seeing grandpas on the floor. We're seeing American citizens being chased out in our local
daddies, mothers. Yeah.
And so the violence against women is what makes it so horrendous. And it's a bunch of people that were basically sitting in the couch, not doing much. And then someone said, hey, you want to get paid to be a racist? We got a job for you. Obviously, they're doing something that's going to be. Here's my question, and I want to close this with this. Who is going to benefit the most out of having this crazy insurgency and hostile against a selective group? They say immigrants, but we see the people in the Mexican Latino community. They don't see them in Chinatown, Greek town, or Polish town. They're straight in our Mexican blocks. And by the way, that situation that you say that there wasn't kids being zip tied, it was. We have clips all over Chicago where they knocked on brown and black people, and it was practice for the Bills of Rights and the dissolution of humanity against American people. It's kind of like we need compromise. There, I finished it.
But wait a minute.
I don't think you're gonna have anybody on the panel that's going to agree with that compromise, because the MAGA movement has pushed everybody so far past being able to compromise that there has to be a strong line drawn in the sand, which is why the Democrats are doing what they're doing now, and then they can work backwards. But it can't start directly with we're just going to yield.
So here's what I see. I've never heard the Asian community or any other community say that, if we don't work for a day, we'll see how this country survives. See, the Latino community has always said, if you run us out this country, because some of us are here illegally, your agriculture, your hospitality, and your building construction, your landscaping.
Acetaminophen. Oh.
Yeah, it's going to all come downhill. Now, they're probably right. But here's the thing to this. Let's suppose the Democrats win. Let's suppose all of you were right. Trump's
put some respect on that.
Well, what is the anti-Trump? Who's going to be the anti-Trump?
Listen to this.
Who is the anti-Trump?
Listen to the trick.
So I could be that.
The Democrats win the House, and somehow mysteriously they win the Senate. Trump loses his mind, and this is in November 26th. They win, and now they have control of both houses. So the impeachment is coming within 30 days.
Another impeachment, another one.
I'm gonna run out of fingers on this hand.
Thank you. It doesn't do anything.
Impeachment, nothing. That don't know. It's Taco Tuesday.
Because it's not a real impeachment.
You have to have enough to indict him.
That's the thing. That's the part. Yeah.
You can impeach him all day, but you got to have enough votes to get the indictment.
Is it 60 from both houses? Is it 60 from the Senate to indict him? Is it 60?
That's a good question.
I feel like
I'll look it up.
It's like, "Ooh, you in trouble?" It's like, what?
What I know for sure is it was the Senate Republicans that held him in. Mitch McConnell. Both times. It was Mitch McConnell who did it, and he's regretting it now. He's not
you
saying
think he remembers.
Oh,
barely.
He regrets it right now. But I am along the train at this point of if the Democrats win the Senate and have a vast majority, and they win the House, there is going to be impeachment with removal.
2/3 majority in the Senate.
So that's
the House of Representatives needs a simple majority.
Out of 167, 67, you said?
67
in the Senate.
That's why it's tough.
I hope what Zohan said happens as far as the brown people who got mixed up in the woo-wop and the hoopla. I hope that comes out, because it's just like, not we told you, but how didn't you know?
Well, hold on, because Latino community, since they're so proud to be Latinos, if they go back to that Operation Wetback in the 1930s, this ain't the first time they've been dealt like this. This is a repeat. This is a repeat of U.S. history.
So
every time I
getting ready to close this out, let's end on this question, right? Because I think this is an actual important question that a lot of Americans don't really get or understand the foundation of, which is who is stopping negotiations? Richard, we'll start with you.
Ooh.
Who's stopping the negotiations?
I don't want to say the answer because the media says it's the Democrats, but the Republicans may have set this up to make it look like the Democrats. So I don't know.
What do you believe? What do you believe?
He said his answer. I heard it. I read between the lines.
No, but that's not no.
Put him on the fire.
See, you may not know, but you believe something.
Yeah.
I want to know what you believe, brother.
Thank you, Lynn.
That's fair.
Yeah, my boy scratching his neck. He's trying to think of a way to say it.
No, I really.
You believe something. We all know that.
He trying
no,
to.
because a part of me believes it's the Democrats, but they're right to do this at this time. They're
That's
right.
the answer.
They're
That's
absolutely because they're doing it for healthcare to help people so they can take care of these healthcare costs. And those people who are being helped, regardless, it's going to be people of all races, both political parties. I think when it comes to healthcare, you got to take care of your U.S. citizens. And you don't want them to not be able to afford healthcare because then they end up going to the ER anyway, and then it overtaxes.
But
so all our tax money is not being used efficiently and effectively.
The question is who is stopping the negotiations, not the reason behind it, but who's actually stopping the negotiations?
I think the Republicans are. I think it's a smooth ass hustle that they're doing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
definitely. Who is stopping the negotiations?
Republicans. Yeah, and the reason why they don't
just
everybody to have everybody mad about healthcare because Americans ain't getting it, so they're like, why should we let the illegals get it if we can't get it? You know,
right.
illegals are not getting.
But that's what's being said.
This is about health insurance. Illegals are not getting health insurance.
But it's what's being said.
If you're getting health care, that's the same thing as most people's
not.
It's not.
But healthcare insurance delivers you healthcare. If you
nobody say healthcare insurance.
Okay.
It's healthcare and there's health insurance.
I'm not accepting that.
They are not the same.
Well, we're
not accepting that either.
We'll swing back around to that because we have a few minutes left. But Zoe, who is stopping the negotiations?
It's definitely not fucking Mexicans. That's for damn sure.
It ain't black people either.
I think
but okay, I can agree to that.
Realistically, I believe it's a selective small group, maybe the industry of insurances, the lobbyists of hospitals. They want more money. They want to have everybody on gridlock. And the Democrats are being smart right now to make sure that everybody's paying attention because a lot of people are distracted. I see a lot of Americans come off as, I'm not racist, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing less Mexicans out here because y'all getting too busy out here, and I'm sorry that I ain't getting none. And that's basically
stay in the present. Who's stopping?
Hey, they gotta have kids. People need to get married and live the life of a Mexican. Carne asadas, tacos, dancing, tequila.
Why are negotiations, Zohan?
Waiting for your answer. I think
Bruce is waiting.
The blue people are stopping it. That's what I believe. The
Democrats.
I have to say,
the Democrats
here in Chicago, they're holding it down because, look, Chicago doesn't buck down. We buck up, and you've seen like how people are ramming the 50s and honking, and Mexican people, bro, is fighting Mexican people is fighting against the wall. Grandma's got more balls than some of these agents.
Why you say wall?
Mira, papi. Viva la Mexico.
I say that with peace and love, by the way.
Yeah. Deuce.
No, you can't say the word wall. Can't say that. No.
Deuce. Who is stopping negotiations?
Now it's all on Deuce.
I agree with Mike Johnson and Republicans. I'm gonna go a deeper level though. I think big business. I think big tech, and I think Petro, because Trump's made mentions to tearing up Alaska. They're rolling back environmental protections, so they're still funding the Republican Party for those initiatives. So they want to see the Republican version of the bill go through because it's money, baby. It's gonna rain money from the sky. So yeah, the Republicans, but they wouldn't be doing it without their donors.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't.
You know what's funny? How long is this negotiation when it gets done? How long is it going to keep the government open?
Not long enough.
We don't know.
The end of November.
I'm about to say that it's not long enough.
The end of November.
If they don't change the CR, it's just a clean CR. If the Democrats agree to it, I thought it was to the end of November.
Yeah.
Then we're back in the saddle again.
So why do it?
The healthcare costs are already going up November 1st.
Huh?
But the healthcare costs go up November 1st.
Yeah, but they're not due until January of 2026.
And I respect this actual answer. Delay is just a negotiation tactic. So the party that needs more time is delaying. Details not important. I don't agree
Who
with
needs more time?
the Republicans. I don't
There you
agree that the details aren't important, but I do agree that delay is a negotiation tactic. What I'll also say is the golly, I wish, and I hate that this happens. And I'm often reminded that unfortunately the American public is very small-minded. They are. I hate that. I hate to be that way, and I feel I'm not going to say hypocritical, but the unfortunate truth is that the answers and I was asking for people for Trumpers to hop on the podcast after debating with them on different other platforms, and I began to notice a routine that they have, right? Because I'll converse with them with fact. They'll give me opinion, and I'll ask, well, then base your opinion. Give me the facts that you're basing your opinion on, and then that goes into, well, you're a leftist, and then I have to tell people I don't have
Character assassination.
I don't have to explain my political beliefs to you, but give me the facts that are forming your opinions.
They don't have them.
Yeah, I'm independent. Well, then it becomes ad hominem, right? It's everything except for providing that factual framework so we can actually have an actual conversation to progress. And with that understanding of not wanting to progress the conversation, you only be doing the opposite of regression. They don't want to move forward.
But facts don't. As a person who's been elected in office, facts don't really mean anything. They don't. Never have.
I just feel like people just.
Well, if you can't state them, that's telling.
I feel like people just want to argue.
That's telling. If you can't state facts,
but
that is telling.
It's
that means you don't know. That means you don't know what's going on.
No,
you don't know the rules of the game.
No,
so you can't really play the game. And that's the small-mindedness.
No, because that's very subjective when you call someone small-minded and they're a voter, because then they'll vote. Then they'll make sure they vote against you.
I don't care.
No, I know you know. But here's my thing. Because I've been accused of saying certain things about voters. And they say, well, we're not going to vote for you, Richard. I never wanted your vote. I want the other people's vote. So facts is just something for people to talk about. But it all comes down to feelings. And if the American people as a whole feel that the search for illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants has been unprofessional and violent, along with the economy and with this healthcare situation, then the Democrats will take the House and do everything they can to take the Senate. And then if they get both houses, Donald Trump will never get nothing passed for the last 2 years of his presidency. That's a guarantee. Nothing he wants will get done. Nothing. Now that should inspire them, because it inspired them to fight President Obama, and he still got reelected.
History. Isn't this what happened his last time out?
Yes.
Didn't he lose the last midterm when he was president?
I believe he did.
Yes, nod your head like this. Yes. He lost the midterm. You know why? Because now people are the small-minded people. You know what happens when you have a small mind? You have a small memory. Yep. And that's why he's back in office. Because people with small memories forgot about, but now that it's back in the present, they're saying, oh, this is the woman who took back the dumbass boyfriend. So once he moved back in the house, she said, oh yeah, this is why I kicked his ass out in the first place.
I'll put $100 up that the Democrats can't take both houses. See, I'll put money where my mouth is. I don't have to yell and scream anymore. I don't have to be emotional. I'll put $100 up right now.
Okay. We do not.
You think the Democrats will take both houses?
Look, put it in escrow, but all of it don't matter.
No.
What I'm saying is, if I can put it on him losing the midterms like before,
both houses.
I believe history will repeat itself, because now that he's in there, people are like, damn.
So you're saying he's going to lose? He's going to lose both houses.
This is the same thing.
Is he
the government is shut down?
Is he going to lose both houses?
That's tough.
Deuce, final words with Deuce.
I was about to say, I don't know. That's a tough one because the messaging, because the money funneling to the Republican side. I do want to say this, though. October 14th, 2024, a Democratic nominee in his last election said that Trump would seek unchecked power. She said that in Erie, Pennsylvania, and showed video clips of him suggesting the use of military power under certain circumstances. People laughed at her for saying that.
Yep.
They laughed. They called her silly. Then they made fun of her laugh for laughing at them, laughing at her. And look where we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
So right there.
And so what I in mind with is I'm glad you made a very perfect point of reference and you did a really good job with differentiating between health insurance and health. Those are two distinct different things. Very two distinct different things. And I'm glad you said that, because that's something that I am going to lead out with the next time I actually converse with something about this actual topic.
I want to check in that.
And here, look, hospitals provide health care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insurance companies provide health insurance.
And no one talks about that, though. That's the crazy thing.
And hospitals are not the same.
So
they conflate the two.
Let's go back to 2018. See, this is funny. See, I'm the right one. See, I'm gonna go back to 2018.
Trump, you went back to the Civil War. We know you go back to 2018.
Trump increased the Republican Party's majority in the Senate, but he lost the House. So he didn't lose both houses in 2018.
But he lost the midterms. That was the loss for him.
Houses.
But he lost any loss was a loss of the midterms for him.
He kept the Senate though, so he didn't lose both houses. See,
that's what kept him from getting impeached.
You want to be so strict on healthcare and healthcare insurance, but
no, I'm not being strict, Richard. Information and education, my brother.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody listening is now walking away saying healthcare and health insurance, they're not the same.
Because people even
they're not the same.
You're talking to yourself.
Mixed up.
This is why this show is so hot.
All the time that say, hey, my uncle needs health insurance. And it's like, oh, no, we're life insurance. Oh, well, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So let's educate folks with facts about the difference. That's all.
So Donald Trump, for facts, did not lose both houses in 2018.
I didn't say that. I said he lost the midterm. That's what I said.
Where did he lose the midterm at? What house?
You just said it. The House of Representatives.
Yeah. So to the panel, I appreciate y'all for, as always, like great information.
But he won the Senate, so he won too.
It down. I'm closing it. I'm closing this down. We've exceeded.
I have my 30 seconds.
No, you're gonna start something else up, man. you like my boy. Hey, can I tell a joke?
Hey, this is the first time I've done a show where I can really laugh.
Yeah.
Because I really want the Democrats to win. I want them to win.
Y'all are nuts. Jay Glass, that's for you.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
I appreciate it. But yeah, as always, I appreciate all the feedback. We are, and this is a shameless plug for the Family Bloodline Network, we are progressively moving forward. We are getting our segments into order. We will be pushing out a lot of new information. I'm so excited. I just recently helped another person get their equipment, microphone, and all the other stuff set up on her console, so she can begin to have her segment for financial literacy. I still owe our two. Yeah, I still owe our two subject matter experts on life insurance a call so we can discuss the details of their segments, and then Deuce and Rich as well. Like, there's so many things that we have that we can offer to our community that we don't have to go and ask anybody for much of anything. We can provide a lot of stuff to ourselves and for ourselves, and that's the goal, especially when it comes to educating on all aspects and spectrums of everything that we got going on in our lives. we have the tools necessary, and not just that, but the experience, education, professionalism, and the ability to deliver key products to our community and to our fellow Americans. And so with that being said, as always, continue to support. Oscar, I see your answer. I appreciate you. As always, thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.